Do you have slow metabolism, or you think you have slow metabolism, and would you like to build a faster one, the one that burns more calories so that it's easier to get lean and stay lean? Well, if that's you, stay, because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what the truth is behind this and how to build as fast metabolism as humanly possible. Before we go there, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, because on this channel, you're going to learn how to build a 7-figure body that goes along with your business success. This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com, and in today's video, one of the most I get is, Coach, how do I build a fast metabolism? Now, of course, there's a bunch of myths here that I'm gonna go deep into so we can actually set the stage properly and know what we're talking about. So the first thing is, what is metabolism? You probably know this from biology class. It's basically, who knows what the actual definition is, but generally speaking, it's the sum of all the chemical processes in the body that have to do with anabolism, meaning building tissues and things, and then catabolism, which is breaking down tissues and things. When you put all this together, we end up, something that basically maintains life. That's what metabolism is. Of course, in the more kind of practical way, what people think is when somebody has fast metabolism, that means they're burning a lot of calories, versus somebody has slow metabolism, they're burning not as many calories, and most people take this as an excuse of why they are overweight. Well, first, this is very, very unlikely to be the reason that you're overweight, your slow metabolism versus somebody's fast metabolism. Now, is there such a thing that somebody can have, let's say higher burning number of calories that they burn is higher than somebody with, maybe weighs the same, maybe has the same composition? Yeah, they can absolutely be differences there, certainly. But we'll go deep into figuring out exactly where these differences come from, okay? So guys, if you remember, there are 4 components of metabolism. I break down each of these in the first video on this channel. I'm gonna link to that somewhere here so that I don't go deep into all of these. But remember, there's first basal metabolic rate, BMR. Then there's number of calories you burn through exercise. Then there's NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which means number of calories you burn through just moving around and being active. That is not official exercise. And then finally is the thermic effect of food. How many calories does it take to actually digest the food that you eat? Those are the 4, okay? Now let's talk about the first one, which is, BMR, because majority of the calories you will burn throughout the day is gonna come from there. So BMR is basically mainly dependent on your lean body mass. So if you take a human, we have the amount of fat that they have in the body, and then everything else is lean body mass. So this lean body mass is, brain, organs, basically skin, blood, muscle, bone, and all the tissues that are not body fat, okay? Now, because remember, there are some organs that burn a metric ton of calories per pound. So for example, brain and heart and liver, they burn a lot of calories, like 100 to 200 calories per pound per day, which is like really, really high amount. But of course, this is not something we can influence. We can't say, hey, let me build a bigger liver, a bigger brain, and a bigger heart so they can burn more calories. Obviously, there's nothing we can do there. So let's focus on the things we can. And those are 2 types of tissues that are commonly talked about. Number 1 is muscle. Number 2 is body fat. So you probably heard body fat is nothing. It's just like sitting there and it's doing nothing. It's not true. Body fat, like the whole body fat in the human body, actually acts like an endocrine organ, and it does certainly burn calories. That's 2 calories per pound. So obviously that's not a lot. If somebody has, 50 pounds of fat in the body, that's still only 100 calories burned throughout the day, which is not a lot. Obviously it's not a lot. On the other hand, but it's still something. It's 2 calories per pound. On the other hand, muscle, you've probably heard all kinds of myths that muscle burns, thousands of calories. So back in the day, in 2008, when I came to the US, that was the first job I've ever had. One of the only 2 jobs I've ever had for like 3 months was I worked as a personal trainer in a big box gym. And they basically said, tell people, like when you're trying to sell somebody personal training, you tell them, if you build, 10 pounds of muscle, this is 50 to 100 calories just burning just by being alive. You don't have to do anything. And I'm like, yeah, but that's actually not true. It doesn't burn anything near that. One of the guys who were telling us to do that was like, what do you mean? So he didn't have any clue. The other guy was like, well, it doesn't, but who cares? It sounds good. So just tell it. These poor people are overweight. So whatever you tell them, more muscle means great. That's how you sell personal training. Sure. On the other hand, the truth is a pound of muscle burns about 6 calories per day. Pound of muscle. So again, this is not a lot. Here's why. 10 pounds of muscle, which can take, from 6 to 12 months or more for a beginner lifter. For somebody who's more advanced, it may take, 1 to 2 years. You're only going to burn 60 calories per day more if you build 10 pounds of muscle extra. 60 calories, you know what 60 calories a day is? Nothing. That's a lower amount that you can ever measure properly or track properly. It's just so low. On the other hand, imagine this. So for example, let's say you lose 20 pounds of fat and build 10 pounds of muscle. By losing 20 pounds of fat, because a pound of fat is 2 calories, right? You're going to be having 40 calories lower requirements per day. On the other hand, if you build 10 pounds of muscle, which is going to take you way, way, way longer than losing 20 pounds of fat. On the other hand, if you build 10 pounds of muscle, that's plus 60 calories. Net total is what? Only 20 calories more per day, which is really nothing. Like, good luck trying to lose weight and stay lean by burning 20 calories a day more. That's nothing, okay? So the main thing that I'm trying to pass here is, yes, it is amazing to build muscle for all the other reasons, not really that you're gonna lose more weight by doing that. It's really not that important. And let's put it this way. An average man can put, let's say 30 to 40, maybe let's say 40-ish pounds of muscle over his lifting career. If you go from, post-puberty, I don't know, let's say 18 years old, and you start lifting weights, so in over 4 to 5 years, you build 40 pounds of muscle. This is something, because that's 240 calories, let's say, 40 times 6, 240 calories that you're burning per day more. This does add up over time. That is great. That's very good. But again, this is 4 to 5 years. This is not something you do in a couple of days, in a couple of months. This is going to take 4 to 5 years to maximize your muscular genetic potential. So when you look at it that way, it's like, okay, this is definitely not an effective weight loss method. Building more muscle is not an effective weight loss method, at least not in the short term. But if we look at the span of several years and then decades after that, it sure is. It can be. So for example, if you have more muscle, you burn more calories by just walking around. You burn more calories by just being alive. You burn more calories by actually exercising, both lifting weights and doing cardio, right? Because the more you weigh, so if a 220-pound guy run 5K versus a 150-pound guy runs 5K, who's going to burn more calories? We did the same distance, but I'm going to burn more calories. Again, not much. Guys, remember, it's not much, but it's going to be more. So, long story short, how do we actually build fast metabolism? So remember, if you're talking about how to increase the calorie expenditure that your body is doing by doing nothing, just by being alive, obviously the goal is get your body fat percentage to a certain level, which is healthy. For men, it's going to be 12 to 15% body fat. For women, it's going to be 20 to 25%. Okay, get your body fat percentage there and stay there, and then try to, while keeping that body fat percentage there in that range, build as much muscle as you genetically, naturally can. That is really the best and only way to build the fastest possible metabolism that you can. And again, remember, I'm trying to emphasize this for the third time in this video, this is not going to be a huge difference. So you saying somebody has really fast metabolism, I have really low metabolism, and that's why I'm overweight, and they're not, this is not true. The reason somebody is not overweight and or is in great shape is because they have their calories in check. They're, doing their steps every day for, burning some calories and longevity and health. And 3, they're building muscle. They're working out to build muscle. That's it. The reason that you're, if you're not in great shape is you're not doing any of these 3 things, or maybe not any of them. Okay, so that's the reason, and that's how to build fast metabolism. And one other thing that I want to mention is bigger people, generally speaking, will burn more calories than smaller people. So even if somebody's morbidly obese and they have 400 pounds and they're obviously not in shape, but let's say somebody's in great shape and they're 160 pounds. Who burns more calories? The 400-pound person is going to burn way more calories because they're physically bigger. So you could look at somebody obese and say, oh, they have low metabolism or slow metabolism. That's why they have low calorie output. That's why they're overweight. No, they actually burn a ton of calories just by being alive, because more, they have more energy requirements simply because of the weight. So if I lost 50 pounds, do you think I would need more or less calories than I do now? Way less, because I'll be weighing 50 pounds less. So this is one of the biggest myths out there, that people are saying, oh, that person is very overweight, their metabolism has to be slow. I've heard it so many times from my clients when they start working with me, like, the guy says, I'm 260 pounds, 6'3", I'm way overweight, And you know why I'm overweight? I'm like, no, tell me. Because my metabolism is slow. I'm like, dude, you are a 260-pound guy. You probably have a lot more muscle than you think just to carry around all that weight. And you're not having slow metabolism. You need a ton of calories. You just actually eat way too much. That's it. Right? So remember, the number one thing to control that is start tracking calories. You're going to be shocked how many calories you eat. It's going to be way more than you think you are. Okay? So that's how to build a fast metabolism. Hope you liked the video. Hope you learned something from it. Please, if you did, click the like button and subscribe as well. One other thing, if you like this video, you're going to love the free training that I have for you that shows you A to Z, all the steps needed to get in amazing shape, lose 20 to 50 or more pounds in the next couple of months. If you click in the video description below, there is a link there that says, get our free training. It's absolutely free. Just put your name and email, phone number, and we're going to send you the free training video. Also, I'm going to send you a free copy of, digital copy of my book. This is a book that is selling for $25 on Amazon. You can see it. If you go on Amazon, you can get yourself a physical copy if you want to. But I'm going to send you if you click below and put your email there, you're not going to get the training. Not only the training for free, you're also going to get a digital version of this book for free. That's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time.